destroy you.
In 1991, Tommy Morrison was the most feared knockout artist in the heavyweight division. "27 wins, 23 knockouts, and a left hook that had knocked out everyone who dared to stand in front of him. But that night in Atlantic City, the opponent was not just any boxer. He was a Soviet built like a war machine, cold, technical, showing no unnecessary emotion. Real life had its own Ivan Drago, and he was about to give Rocky's disciple the toughest night of his career. Tommy the Duke Morrison grew up in Jay, Oklahoma, a town so small that most of the world would never have known about it if it weren't for what Tommy did inside and outside the ring. Inside the ring, he was a force of nature with a devastating left hook that had knocked out almost everyone who stood in front of him. Fast for his size, aggressive, with a killer instinct, 27 pounds. Outside the ring, he was a Hollywood star. He had shared the set with Sylvester Stallone in Rocky V, playing Tommy Gunn, Rocky Balboa's protégé, the disciple who betrayed his master. Life imitating art. Because Morrison didn't just act in a boxing movie. He was a real boxer with a record that spoke for itself. 27 wins, 23 knockouts, and dreams of becoming world champion. On the other side was Yuri Bowlin. There were no movies in his story. There was no glamour. There was no Hollywood. Bowlin was one of the first Soviet boxers to make the leap to professionalism in America. He brought with him elite amateur credentials from the Eastern Bloc and the legendary training methods that had produced some of the best boxers in the world for decades. 6 feet 4 inches tall, impeccable technique, cold stare. It's as if someone took the character of Ivan Drago from the big screen and made him real.
In an earlier Hollywood fantasy, Rocky defeated Ivan Drago. Tonight, Morrison will imitate that show by fighting Yuri Bowlin, a member of a new generation of Soviet boxers.
For him, Morrison wasn't a movie star or an American boxing idol. He was simply the next name on the list. Atlantic City, 1991. The fight was the undercard for Holyfield versus Foreman, the biggest stage in boxing at that time. And Morrison came in as the absolute favorite. His knockout record preceded him. The crowd expected another quick finish. From the first round, it was clear tonight would be different. Then came out with a technique that Morrison hadn't seen before. Constant lateral movement, a precise jab that landed again and again, and a coldness that couldn't be trained in an American gym. Morrison landed 33 of his punches in the first round. Only 17%. By the second round, Morrison already had blood in his mouth. The Soviets' jabs had opened a small wound, and Morrison's corner was starting to worry. Coach Tommy Gallagher was shouting at him from outside to attack the body, not to go headhunting, to stay in the center of the ring. Morrison wasn't listening. He kept looking for the left hook that had knocked everyone out, and Bowlin dodged it, as if he knew exactly when it was coming. In the third round, Bowlin took complete control. His jab landed with surgical precision, 32% accuracy compared to just 9% for Morrison. Clean combinations, coming from angles the American didn't expect. A straight jab, followed by a right hook to the temple, and then another jab and another. For the first time in his career, Morrison seemed uncomfortable. Then, news came that explained part of what was happening. Morrison had an injured right hand. He had hurt himself hitting his sparring partner, Jerry Jones, during training camp, and that injury was completely limiting him. By the fourth round, Morrison was unsteady on his feet. Bowlin was dominating him with his movement and his technique. And Morrison's coach recognized something that no one wanted to admit out loud. That maybe they had made a mistake by accepting this fight. Then, the fifth round came, and Tommy Morrison remembered why they were afraid of him. He found the opening he had been looking for all 4 rounds. The crowd in Atlantic City erupted. Bowlin kept going, but Morrison didn't give him time to recover. He cornered him and landed a powerful hook to the body that knocked him out. He turned around, giving his back, the clearest sign that he didn't want any more. The referee, Steve Smogger, didn't need to see any more. Technical knockout in the 5th round. Morrison won. Rocky's disciple had stopped the real-life Ivan Drago. That night in Atlantic City, Tommy Morrison proved that his knockout power was no Hollywood trick. 4 rounds of punishment, an injured hand, and still he found the punch that no one could avoid. Duke's left hook was real. Bowlin learned it in the most painful way possible.